Hello, it's Talking Reds. Talking Reds Live. It's John Gibbons and I'm with Craig Hannan and we're here to bring you all the latest Liverpool news. We're live across our channels. We'll try and bring in some of your comments as we go, so do let us know what you're thinking about what's going on or what we're saying. Feel free to heckle or say, yeah, great point, John, oh, amazing, I love you. Any of that is fine as well, isn't it, Craig?
I'm not sure.
Craig likes to call me the content king in the office, so if anyone wants to throw that in.
False. False information. You're going to get flagged by YouTube here. You're going to do with politics.
I'll get our channel shut down. That'd be a blow, wouldn't it? So before we do that, we'll crack on because I want to talk about the training camp that Liverpool are doing and a couple of interviews that Jurgen Klopp has done. It's been a while since we've heard from Jurgen. Been a lot of speculation of the glasses. Yeah. Does he wear them anymore? Then he suddenly had them on and things like that. So nice to actually hear some of his words.
I love that that's how deprived we've been of Jurgen. That's how much we need him. There's how much of a clamour there is to sort of just see his face on a regular basis, that whenever we haven't seen him for, 4 or 5 weeks, it's like, is he wearing contact lenses now? Has he got the surgery done on his eyes? Yeah. He's been sunburned. He looks as if he's had a good time, doesn't he, Jurgen? He's got a bit of a tan there. We're all sort of looking into it microscopically, but lovely seeing his wee face again, isn't it?
Yeah, and lovely to hear from him, and he had lots of updates for all of us, which are really interesting, and we'll sort of go through them. They're from the interviews on the official website, so do sort of check that out if you haven't already, but we'll sort of give you sort of our thoughts and a little bit of best of. And first of all, injury updates, because that's what we're all wondering about at the moment, isn't it? Especially with defence. You know, we finished the season decimated in terms of defence. It's lovely to have a clean bill of health, and it looks like we're going to be close to that. Jurgen said all 4 of them, because he said he included Trent in that, and he talked about Matip, Gomez and Van Dijk. He said all 4 of them are looking great, which is fantastic, what we want to hear.
Yeah, it looks like Matip's going to be the first one back of the 3, and that's a funny one because Matip's been the one that we've spoken about least out of the 3.
Yeah,
we've almost we're going to need another fella because Matip's not up to it, and there he is. He's training. Hopefully all 3 of them can continue in sort of the way that they have been over the past month or so, when we haven't been there and haven't been watching, haven't been seeing all the work that they've been doing in terms of the rehab. But it's exciting to see actual, real life centre backs, and obviously the Canate pictures as well. I mean, I love the first day of pre-season training, by the way, whenever they bring out all the pictures, because they put out a few just to like tease you, and you're going, where's Canate? Where's the new signing? And then they'll go, Canate's coming soon. And everyone's like, where's Van Dijk? We haven't seen him in ages as well. But I'm very, very excited about Canate and how tall he is, first of all.
Yeah, he looks absolutely huge, and obviously got a great chance of starting that first game, because it's rare to have a new signing on the first day of training, isn't it, on pre-season, because sometimes either the transfer's sort of rumbling on, we're still sort of negotiating, or, they're away on international duty or whatever. So we've got a bit of a gift with Canate that, he's not played with France this summer. He wasn't part of their international squad. I mean, they had a very good one, to be fair. And so he's there first day and he's able to get to know everyone. He's able to settle. And I like Klopp's comments on him as well, because there was a few people, when he was doing all those videos and stuff, I saw a few people saying, Klopp might not like this, you know what I mean? He feels like, is he celebrating arriving in Liverpool rather than like, does he think that's the achievements? But Klopp, because he's Klopp, was buzzing off. He's like, yeah, I'm made up. He's made up to be here. I'm delighted to have him. And look how happy he is to be here. That's great. I want people who are pleased to be here.
I loved it all. I think it's brilliant. What made me laugh most out of it all was, like, in every sort of video you saw, he was calm and relaxed and chilled out. It's everyone else around him that's going absolutely mad with flares. His family like letting off pyro and all of this, and he's just calm with his, his face in a water bottle.
like Mo Salah at Man City in the Champions League when he scored, he just stood like that, and then they were all upside down.
Look, I've loved seeing that. I think that's a reminder of sort of how big this football team is, and that, Canate's a big signing, by the way. That is like a sort of marquee centre-back signing for us, the amount that we paid for him, the club that he's come from. But he's delighted to be here, and I'm delighted to have him. Look, we could start the season here with Matip. It's most likely it'd be Matip and Canate, you'd think, going by sort of the talk around the 3 that are coming back from injury. But Gomez and Van Dijk on the bench is going to feel as if we've got a wealth of centre-backs at our disposal.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we've got these friendlies coming up over the next couple of weeks as well, so we'll get a bit of an indication over there, over partnerships he's trying to use and things like that, and who is more ready than other people. But really nice to sort of have them as options, and to have a lot of them here sort of available to play, Craig. And we did a Q&A, and me and you were buzzing off one part of that where he says basically Mo Salah's had 7 weeks off.
Amazing.
And I'm just imagining what Mo Salah can do after semi. I mean, we've all been following his Instagram. You know, he's been having his shirt off, having a lovely time all over the gaff. He might score 100 goals.
He might, John. It's got to the stage of
I'm getting a deal at 100.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't. I know it's a joke, but I wouldn't put it past him. It's got to the stage of his Instagram where if you go on it and he's got his shirt on, you're like, the fuck's this?
Fridge.
Yeah, get that shirt off. It's summer. Look, this is Klopp's mentioned in the interview, didn't he, about the fact that usually these players get 2 weeks, and it's usually after an international tournament. And this time Mo's been away for seven weeks, sunning himself and having his shirt off and enjoying the beach. And you know, it's not just physically that these players. It's not just physically that it's been demanding on these players. It's been mentally as well. And such a long sort of tough season mentally for all of us, including the players. It'd be great for him. Sadio Mane gets 5 weeks as well. I think he had a Senegal game, but 5 weeks off is not to be sniffed at either. And I think he's mentioned then that the Brazilians will get 2 or 3.
He's saying everyone's going to get 3 weeks off, yeah. So 3 weeks from sort of the last game, really. So obviously Jordan playing in that final, you know, will be sort of the last back, if you like. Or the Copa America is only the night before as well, so they'll be sort of more or less the same. So we'll have to wait for them a little bit. But it does feel to me that it's quite rare to have so many of your top stars available first day, and he's going to be working them as well. I did laugh. He said, "Oh, Virgil and Gomez aren't quite doing the double sessions yet, but obviously the others are." And I noticed one of the questions, James Carroll, I presume it was, I said to him, "Oh, you know, are you worried about them getting bored?" He's like, "They'll probably just be exhausted." And you can tell he probably had a smile on his face. I bet he loves beasting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Virgil and Joe Gomez have been watching Love Island at night time.
Oh, right.
They said in their interview with James Carroll as well. They said
who's the favourite, you know? What did he make of last night?
I'm not sure. We need James to ask them this on a daily basis.
James, we need daily updates. Love Island, please. What they made of the cliffhanger. Who they're going to go for. I had to rewind it. I didn't completely understand it, to be honest with you.
Me neither, but we'll get into that after in our Love Island YouTube channel. But I think, they did mention that all the players at the beginning, it just starts as them two every year watching it, and then all the players get on it. So I really like that. But yeah, in terms of like the preparations being in Austria as well, like in the interview, Jurgen spoke about how they had all these grand plans and they had these, you know, plans on who they were going to play. They had the option to go to Spain, but he said it was too hot there. And obviously Austria's temperature is just right. It's a gorgeous setting for them. It looks lovely, and yeah, he's talking about these mad fixtures that they've got over the next week or two, like the 2 30-minute games. I can't wait for them.
I know.
It's great. It's like suddenly they've just come up with something new in football, and you're like, yes.
Have you heard what we're doing? So we're going to hot mic both of them. So we're going to be doing hot mic live. So we're going to hot mic the first one, and then we're going to do a 10-minute pink with a timer on. Because there's 15 minutes between the games. We're going to do a 10-minute pink, record it there and there, like get a timer. You know, if you're not making a speedy points, get out the way, you know what I mean? And then as soon as they come on for the next one, we're going to stop it, boom, back on hot mic.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm really excited. And obviously, usually with these games, like you say, there's a lot of kids, and I enjoy watching them. I'll enjoy sort of seeing them being given their chance and being able to sort of get a taster of what kind of player that they might be in the future. But God, we're going to get to watch Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, and I don't know about Trent, whether he's going to be back in time or not, but he's there training.
Yeah, he's looking good as well, he said, yeah.
And then there's loads of players in that squad that have things to prove. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, both there as well. Basically, every time they show a new picture, like, him again, we've got another one. Like, it's exciting, isn't it?
No, absolutely. It is exciting, and we're all excited for the new season. I'm excited to be back in ground as well, and that was the thing that Jurgen asked about. He said, you know, he talked about that, and he talked about Palace, and he said, honestly, my last impression was one of the best I've ever got in my life. The 10,000 against Palace felt like 150,000. So thank you again for that, whoever was there. Well done, which is really nice, because you know with Klopp it's always genuine, and he's still buzzing off that. So first home game of the season, fingers crossed, when he walks out and there's 50,000 of us lunatics in there, all added all this energy. You know, there's a bit of information on the websites, you know, the last day about things, you know, we still might have to wear masks and things like that, but I mean, I'll wear a spacesuit if they want me to, do you know what I mean, as long as I can get in there.
They emailed and said you have to wear a spacesuit.
Give us a spacesuit.
Yeah.
You could sneak some ale in that, though, couldn't you?
always working out ways to sneak in a spacesuit. Come on.
Under the space hat, I could have one of them caps with the beer things on the side.
There's got to be better ways, John. What was your question again? Fans back in. I think this week's felt new to me. Like, this week's felt as if, right, this is the beginning. It's now the countdown to that first game. Now it's the countdown to the first game at Anfield with fans back in. It's the countdown to that mad, gorgeous Chelsea 5:30 kickoff on a bank holiday weekend with fans back in. And yeah, I just can't wait for it. I think it's going to add like a new sort of, what's the word? Like an added sort of new dimension to football this year, and that we enjoyed the Euros, and most of the games that I enjoyed most were the ones where you sit down and you go to watch the game and you're like, oh, fucking hell, there's 30,000 fans in it, and it just made such a difference. And I think that's just going to add so much. It's a reminder of football, of how much fans add, and obviously we've gone through the last year of just football not being the football that we love, haven't we? And it feels like we're so close. It feels like we're on the cusp now to finally. I don't even know how I'm gonna sort of be able to take it all in. Do you know what I mean? Like that feeling of, you're gonna get the feeling of the first time you returned, the first time you went to Anfield, aren't you? Yeah. The walking up the steps, the like looking all around you, the songs, You'll Never Walk Alone, all that, and hopefully 3 points at the end. But roll on this new season. This week sounds like, and again, obviously with the Euros finishing on Sunday, I think that's a big part of it. But the very fact that Monday morning starts and we've got the pictures of Virgil running the training pitch, it's exciting.
It is really exciting, and the Anfield Wrap's going to be there, obviously, this season, every step of the way. So share the journey with us, get involved. We think it's a great time to subscribe. We've been doing our best over the last year or so, sort of in lockdown conditions, but we think we're at our best as a business when we're there, home and away at every game, and obviously right here in the heart of the city as well, telling that story. So come with us, great time to subscribe. Also, as a bit of a reminder of the amazing times we've had over the last few years under Jurgen Klopp. We've been doing a show this summer called Football Miracles, which I've done the first two of and been absolutely brilliant fun. It's a little bit of a reference to a comment made by a rival fan about the fact that Liverpool under Klopp seem to have football miracles every week. So we thought, well, let's relive them, and I tell you what, it's been great fun. We've done 2 shows. We've only done 18 months so far because there has been a lot, but it's brilliant. You're enjoying it, mate, aren't you?
Oh, mate, it's unbelievable, yeah. There's something Neil says in it, and I think it's in this clip where he says, like, the best thing about all of this is these are all miracles that are now.
Yeah.
Like this is things that are happening in this era and are going to happen again. And that like got me pumped for the new season, because I was like, do you know what? This, last season maybe didn't go the way that we hoped for and wanted, but tell you what, there's going to be a few miracles come this season again that Liverpool do.
Absolutely. These are the glory days, and there's much more to come. But just to finish off, here's a little bit of a clip from that Football Miracles. But thanks a lot to all the boys for helping us put this together, and to you, and for your comments. Andy, by the way, you're a cheeky bastard. Up the Reds.
And part of what I want to say and remind people of as much as possible is that this is a fucking golden age. This is a fucking golden age that we're living through, and it's not over yet. There's loads more golden age to come. There's loads more journey still to come, but this is a fucking golden age.
I think the best way to sum it up is, am I all right saying when we're doing this, for example, I assume this isn't going out like tomorrow or something, right? So we're doing this the night after England have beaten Denmark in the semi-final.
Yeah.
And for England fans in the ground last night, for England fans across the country, that's one of the greatest nights in their footballing lives, regardless of who they support. And you look at some of these, and we've had multiple nights like that in the last 5 years under Jurgen Klopp, and that's before you go back and look at Rafa Benitez or some of the league stuff under Rodgers or anything before that, or Houllier and stuff like that. We're having these things regularly, and that's why this whole message exists from this Evertonian, because we're doing things that people view as the highlight of their footballing lives regularly, not like every few years, it's every few months in some cases, because some of the stuff Klopp's done is absurd.
Absolutely. It's funny because, like, on this show, like, Kev's here because we went for the pint before, me and Kev, and I said, I'm doing this show later, and he went, oh, what's that? Football Miracle sounds interesting. And I told him the premise of the show, and he was like, that sounds fucking boss.
To be honest, I'm half devastated that I'm on it because I've been weighed up to it. And I'll probably will listen to it back anyway.
And then, so that's my first point. So my second is, I showed him the list. He was like, oh, brilliant. So did you just pick one of them and do like half an hour? And it's like, no, we're doing all of them in one show. And he's like, fucking best of luck. So when you said before, Neil, by the way, 3 parts, I reckon we might end up up doing 8. And not just because Kev's now on it.
we got Divock and Iggy and Sadio Mane to talk about just against them. We could do a week on that. We could literally...
Like just a weekly series.
I honestly think we're going to do 8. And I'm fine with it. And I want to be on all 8. But also to wipe my memory and then listen to all 8.
Some histories, wasn't it? Started off as like a 4-episode thing that turned into 19 episodes. This has got those legs, I think.
But my thing about why I think it's amazing is that it's not a history. Like this is still today. This is all.
These are the glory days. Yeah, you're right.
Everything's still part of today.
Most of these players still play for the club.
Yeah, there's very little. I remember him.
So no, on that. That's part of this is like for instance. So what? I'll give you a game that won't be. This isn't just. I want to be really clear about this. This isn't the same as a big win in a big game. So the 2019 European Cup final, Champions League final, was not miraculous. There was no miracle. We fucking ground Tottenham.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. But with the best team won.
Getting there was a miracle, though.
Getting there was, and that's the point. Divock might have been a one-man miracle that season, but that game and that goal wasn't miraculous. The most miraculous thing about it was how shite he'd been, and then he stuck it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But the thing is, there's been so many of them.